Alright folks, so now I'm going to make these spare ribs into some St. Louis style spare ribs. First couple things I need to do is remove any fat that you don't want on there. But there's this little flap underneath. This is on the bottom side of meat right here. This particular set of spare ribs hardly has as many, but you just got to get a knife underneath there, cut a little slot down, and what you want to do is just pull it up away from the whole rack until you get down to the bottom here. Like I said, this one doesn't really have much of this flap, which I'm surprised, but it's about all I'm going to really have to do here. And then yeah, remove any excess fat you don't want. We're gonna take some of this bone section off. So basically there's this whole huge meaty section here that people often call a brisket or your rib tips. And to remove that, when we're gonna flip it over, find in between, there's a bone here and there's a bone there. Get in between there, watch your fingers. And then what you want to do is cut, basically you want to make the whole entire thing into a giant rectangle. These ribs I had sit out for about an hour and a half before I started cutting them here. I did that because I don't want these ribs to be cold when I get them onto the grill or the barbecue. That'll help have a more even cooking, and it's another thing you should do. Alright. So you see how all you basically have to do is make it into a rectangle. You can look underneath before you cut them into the St. Louis ribs. See where the bone's end and just go from there and just go right down so that it's a nice, perfect rectangle. Now I wouldn't say mine's completely perfect. That's the whole idea. And then there's this boneless section at the bottom here. You come around, let's find the underneath, let's find the rib where they end. Right around there. I'm just gonna come right down. And there we go. I think St. Louis ribs have about well over 13 actual bones here. There's another little one here. I'm just gonna remove that. And there I have it. That is my St. Louis style spare ribs. However, there are a couple more things to do before we can start rubbing these up and getting them ready to go on the barbecue. We're gonna have to remove the membrane. Get a dull knife, and what you want to do is go find one of the bones. I like to start around the middle. And this can be a little tricky sometimes, but overall it's easy. Get underneath the bone, slide the dull knife underneath it, start lifting up a little, kind of wiggle it around until you get the membrane to start breaking off. And then what you want to do is, this either comes off nice and easy or it comes off very hard. Take a paper towel, because this always helps to get your grip on it. And what you do is you just pull it away from the ribs. There we go. So there I have it. These ribs are pretty much ready to go. I'm actually gonna be smoking these on my Weber kettle grill. I think you get a lot more flavor from using charcoal or smoking them rather than just grilling them or doing any other method. So that is the way I will show you how to do it, because it is my personal way to do it, as well as many other people's favorite way.